What does hashtag mean? I keep hearing people say hashtag this and hashtag that. I know the hashtag is the pound sign, but what does it mean? Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a few years, well actually it's been 60 years, since I studied high school Spanish, but I still remember some of it. And whether I'm around people who are speaking Spanish or people who are talking technology, it's the same thing. I recognize quite a few words. I even know what many of them mean. Occasionally, I can understand an entire sentence, but I have no idea what they're talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those old fogies who won't have anything to do with computers. I'm an old fogey who owns a computer and uses it every day for word processing, email, and photo storage. I play games, shop, and pay bills online, but I don't understand the language. And when I got my first computer, things were fairly simple. You had either a PC or a Mac. Then somebody developed the portable computer, so you had a desktop or a laptop. But then the developers went wild, and now there are notebooks and netbooks and iPods and iPads and nooks and crannies and, oh wait, that's Kindles. And I don't know what all else. Every time a new device comes out, the language expands. And what a crazy mixed up language it is. It contains words that were invented for the technology, like internet, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and interweb. I'm pretty sure all those have something to do with going online, whatever that is. But I don't think they all have exactly the same definition, do they? There are new terms for old things, like snail mail and landline, and new meanings for old words, like mouse, monitor, and client. Now a desktop can be the surface where your computer sits, the computer itself, or what you see on the screen, pardon me, monitor. A hard drive used to mean LA to San Francisco in one day. Now it means, well, I'm not sure exactly what it does mean, but I know there's one inside my computer, and that's where all the information is stored. That brings me to memory. If my memory is the information that's stored in my brain, then logically, shouldn't a computer's memory be the information that's stored on its hard drive? But no, it's something else entirely. Just don't ask me what. Now, some of the new definitions do have a connection with the old ones, even when they're very different. For instance, whether a person or a computer gets a virus, that's a bad thing. And a crash can be even worse. And then there's user. A user can be a drug addict or a computer owner. As I see it, either way, it's a person with a problem. Speaking of users, have you ever tried to read a user manual? The ones I've seen seem to fall into three categories. Some of them appear to have been written in another language, then translated one word at a time by someone who didn't understand English. Others are written with the assumption that the user has information or knowledge that I don't have, while still others are written like a primary reader. Open the box. Take out what's inside the box. Look, look, look. See the pretty computer. Of course, if you can't find what you need in the manual, there's always tech support, right? Right. Hey, I don't really mind being left on hold by the hour. Gives me a chance to catch up on my reading or brush up on my Spanish. And I can deal with trying to communicate about something I don't understand with someone who doesn't think in English. But when they start asking me questions, it's deer in the headlight time. What browser are you using? Do you have a router? How many USB ports do you have? Well, there's Port Hueneme and the Port of Los Angeles. Wait, what does that have to do with computers? Somewhere around this point, I usually hang up and call my son. I try to save him for a last resort, but there are some real advantages to calling him about my computer problems. First, I know he understands English because I'm the one who taught him to talk. Second, I know he understands computers because he's a programmer. Third, and most important, he knows I don't speak geek, so he translates for me. I have finally realized that there's no way I am ever going to understand the mysterious language of technology. And I'm okay with that, really. I can get by with a little help from my son. But there are some things I really would like to know. For instance, what's the difference between a browser and a search engine? RAM and ROM, an iPad and an iPod. And what does hashtag mean?
All right, can we please have